Hey guys, how are you? I'm miserable without you. I'm trying to make the best of it. Hanging out with the family, reading lots of books. I hope you're having, hope you're making the best of it too. Getting lots of walks and exercise and hanging out with my dogs and my family. So I hope you're making the best of it too. Today we'll be doing lesson number 8. It looks like this. So this is called Time to the Half Hour on the Digital Clock. There's the bell. How do I determine length and time? What number comes next? 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Hopefully you said 33. What time is it when the hour hand is between the 6 and 7 and the minute hand is on the 6? So between the 6 and 7 and the minute hand is on the 6. We'll need to move over a little bit. It is 6:30. What time does the clock show? Between the 9 and 10, and then straight down to the 6, we would say 1:30, 1:30, 3, 7, or 9:30. We would say 9:30. Okay, how can you read time to the half hour on a digital clock? So this is pretty simple because you're just saying the numbers. So you would say 5:30, or you could also say 5:30. Frida has dance class at the time shown. Write the time on the digital clock. So here this is tricky because I know I've always said choose the lesser time, but this one is tricky because 12 is greater than 1. But we haven't, as far as the hour hand goes, it hasn't gotten to the 1 yet. So it's not 1 o'clock, so it can't be 1:30. It is 12:30. So on the digital clock we would write 12, separated by that colon, and then 0, oops, sorry, not 0. Ooh. I told you I've lost my mind while you've been away. That should be a 3. Oh gosh, what? Okay, well, it's 12:30. Let me show you. 12:30. Okay. A bike race starts at the time shown on the yellow clock, which is, see if I can get it to work this time. So this one is what we did last week. It is 6:00. And then the race finishes, the race lasts 1 hour and 30 minutes. So on our clock we would show 6 o'clock. So straight down at the 6 and straight up at the 12. That's what time it started, 6 o'clock. But the race lasts an hour and a half. So an hour would go all the way around and we'd end up at 7 o'clock. That would be an hour. But then it'd have to add half an hour. So the hour hand would go between the 7 and the 8, and then the minute hand would go straight down to the 6. So we'd have 7:30. So on the analog clock, you can draw your hands between the 7 and 8, and then straight down 7:30. And on the digital clock, you would write 7, and then 30. Well, let me draw down low. So 7:30. Okay, oop, now we're on, there we go. Now we're on the page, so get ready for your writing part. Please don't forget to write your name. Tyler's football practice ends at 4:30. Use your digital clock to show the time. So 4:30. So 4:30, 4:30, and minute hand would be right down to the 6. And then the way to write that on the digital clock, pretty simple. We would write 4:30 or 4:30. Oh, that's his phone. That's supposed to be his phone. Okay, 4:30. A digital clock, we're on the middle page now on the See and Show. A digital clock can show the time to the half hour. Both of the clocks show 6:30. So 6:30 with the hour hand, straight down with the minute hand. On the digital clock, much easier to read, 6:30, but you must be able to read both clocks. And then both of the clocks show 6:30 or 6:30, so go ahead and trace out those numbers. Let's go to number 1. Use the manipulative clock. It has virtual clock, but we're using this one to show the time and then write the time on the digital clock. So here we have 1:30, so we could show it on this clock between the 1 and the 2. And then straight down at the 6, 1:30. So we're going to write that digitally. So we'll write 1:30. And let me move me. I'm always in the way somehow. Let's show on our little clock. 8:30 and 9 with the minute hand, hour hand. And straight down with the minute hand. So we say it's not quite 9 yet. It is 8:30. So on the digital clock, please write 8:30. Okay, let's go on to number 3. Number 3, on your clock, you'll show between the hour hand between the 11 and the 12. Minute hand straight down, so that shows us it is 11. Not quite 12, so it is 11:30. So please write that on your digital clock. Then take your clock again. Looks like between the 3 and the 4, and then straight down. That's not very well between the 3 and the 4. So it's not quite 4 o'clock yet. The lesser number is 3, so it is 3:30 or 3:30. All right, awesome, amazing mathematician. You'll be going on to On My Own, doing exactly what we just did, showing it on your paper clock, and then checking the analog clock, which is the one with hands, and then writing it on the digital clock. So go ahead and pause the video now and do those things. Okay, sorry about that. I lost you for a minute. Now we're going to be on the back side together with has a picture of a little paint set. Now it says, Mrs. Johansson's class has art from at 9:30. It lasts 1 hour. What time does the art class end? So you can pretty much leave the minute hand where it is because we know we're going to go for a full hour. So it starts at 9:30. So we know that this will go, the minute hand will go all the way around and back to the 6 because that's where it started for an hour. And then this hand will move just that far to go 10:30. So the class ends at 10:30. That's the way you write it digitally. Hour separated by the colon, separated minute and hour. Okay, now, Aiden, we have a boy in first grade spelled just that way. Aiden's school choir will start singing at 2:30. So let's show that on our digital clock, 2:30. So, hour hand between the 2 and the 3, minute hand pointing straight down. They will sing for an hour. So we know this hand will go all the way around for an hour. And then this hand, they start at 2:30. So now we'll go, well, now it's 3:30. So they will stop singing at 3:30. Okay, the last bit of this lesson is the hot problem, higher order thinking. Chase tells his friend that the time on the clock is 12 o'clock. Tell why Chase is wrong and make it right. So you pretend to be the teacher. What did Chase do wrong? Why does he think it's 12 o'clock and not the time that's shown on the digital clock? Please use complete sentences and don't forget to end with punctuation. Okay, bye guys!